mind you, tomato and mozzarella, I can see.
Yes, and plenty of basil and pesto.
Yum.
Now, it's simple, but there are various stages to it.
Right.
It's important.
Yeah,
Okay.
behave yourself.
Now,
Behave yourself.
We have 250 grams, that's 9 ounces of our cream plain flour. And we sieve that into a mixing bowl with a little pinch of salt and pepper. And then we're going to add 175 grams, that's 6 ounces of butter or margarine. Now, that's a high proportion of butter or margarine to flour, and that's to give a kind of a flaky effect, a cheap flaky effect to the pastry.
What do you mean,
like a phyllo pastry kind of?
No, like a flaky, like layers of pastry.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So what we do is now we just coarsely rub the butter, the margarine through the flour, tips of your fingers. We've done this several times before, and don't spend too long with your hand stuck in the bowl because you're going to raise the temperature, and that will give you a tough pastry after baking.
Really? You must have some amount of flour on those fingers, Catherine.
Look at me apron, covered in flour here today.
But come here, so if you spend too long doing
you're
this...
going to wreck the pastry.
Really? Alan, do you not know
the
that?
number of people...
Of course I do now. But then how do you not spend the time that you need to do it, just try and do it quickly, is it?
Coarsely. You don't have to spend half the day with your hands stuck in the mixing bowl. Like people spend their hands, stick their hands in the bowl for ad infinitum. No need for that at all.
No,
just coarsely.
no need for that at all.
How coarse are we talking?
That coarse.
That course.
Okay.
So there's still chunks of butter there,
yes,
really.
yeah.
And that'll spread through the pastry.
Okay. I never knew that now, all the years I've been doing this.
And all the years we're at this, Alan, now, what are we like? Now we just...
And here's your famous knife.
My famous knife. The blade in the knife is cooler than the spoon would be. You just bring the ingredients together to form a dough. And once you form the dough, now because there are various stages to this, I've jumped a little bit ahead. So we just bring the mixture together.
Would you have that knife in the fridge now if you want to cool?
You could.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you're bright now, I'm telling you, Tommy.
I'm on the ball this morning, Catherine.
You sure are, Tommy. There's nothing surer today. You really are.
Did it make a change?
What's it like?
Tell him off, please.
Now,
This isn't on.
Now, there's the pastry.
Okay.
You put that out onto a lightly floured board. You lightly knead it. That's roll it around in the flour. And then you simply roll it out. And I have one rolled out here already.
Oh, there it is, okay.
See this here? Now, you roll it out to an oblong. And then 3 times, I'm only going to do it once. 3 times you flip one side over, the other side over. And you've got a
What
third.
do you mean 3 times?
Oh,
Open it up and do it again?
No, watch it. Roll it out.
So these are the layers, is it?
Oh, these are the layers you're getting into the thing.
Exactly. You have it in one. So we just roll it out like so. And then we just move the board.
Do you add a bit more flour in it then, no?
You could, no, not necessarily, no, just a little bit of flour for rolling. Now you just do the same again with that. Now I'm not going to roll it anymore, you just do that and that. Roll it again and do it 3 times.
Okay.
You got that?
Right, yeah.
Why do you do that, Catherine?
To get layers in the pastry. To get it quite flaky.
We'll know when we taste it, I'd say.
Now-
You can kind of see them actually
Yeah,
there.
you can see
Yeah.
them.
Now, 6-inch rounds, tip for that, a small side plate.
Right.
Okay, put that on the rolled
top.
out pastry and cut around it. And here we have one here. Put it on the baking tray and then prick it well with the fork and then brush it with beaten egg, which we have
there.
here.
And how long will that go into the oven for then?
This goes in at 200 centigrade, 400 Fahrenheit, gas mark 6, for about 10 to 15 minutes until they're golden brown like they are there.
Right.
Okay?
So
Now-
just keep an eye on them, I suppose,
Yeah,
as well.
you know
and
when
they're
you see
nice
them.
and brown.
Oh, your ones are doing nicely
Look
there,
at
lads.
those, look at these.
Okay,
Now-
perfect.
That's what they come out like. Now, I know I should have had them ready to give you before I started
Oh,
working.
I like
but
the look of that. I
they
saw
weren't
the top
cooked.
shelf there.
Did you see it?
Oh, I did.
Now,
Okay, so you have the ones there that you cooked before they've gone. So you have obviously you have to let it go a bit cool.
you can let it cool down. I'm going to do it now straight on with these ones.
Oh,
But,
are you?
what you do then is you slice some buffalo mozzarella and some plum tomatoes, and you just arrange them on top, and you reduce the temperature and you put them back into the oven for about 15 minutes.
Oh.
But before you do that, we're going to put some salt and pepper and some pesto and just a little olive oil on top.
Okay.
Very tasty. There we go.
So we've only a minute left.
Oh, James Street tonight, you're joking. James Street tonight.
But this is the easier part. All the rolling and the making the pastries
That's the hard part.
So basically, do you put anything on top of this now before you put them back in?
Yeah, the pesto, is it?
Bit of
The
pesto.
pesto.
Oh, delicious. It's kind of like a bruschetta, isn't it?
Correct, yeah.
Love bruschetta.
Similar. Bit of pepper and salt.
And then put them back in for what, 15 minutes?
15 minutes max. Little bit of salt.
And just melt them
A
down.
drizzle with olive oil.
Now careful, because that tray is
extra
hot. You're
virgin
putting that
now,
back
or
in.
What?
extra virgin olive oil, or is that?
Virgin, yeah. So now into the oven. You reduce the temperature to 175, 350, gas mark 4.
Careful, that
Watch
tray is
your
very
hand,
hot.
hand,
It's okay.
hand.
I have leather hands.
Really, Mac. You've only taken that out of the oven. You're...
It's cooled down enough for me to
Hey,
handle it.
what, Catherine? You're like superwoman.
Telling you. Oh, look at this, lads. Ooh.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah, they look lovely now.
Now.
Wow.
And then you garnish them.
That's quite healthy now, isn't it? Or
Very
is it?
healthy.
Well, a bit of butter in it.
Yeah.
Right bit of butter in it. But sure, no, it's good. Tasty, though.
Taste.
Basil leaf then, because
Yeah.
basil goes very
Give
well.
Tommy one there now, let him taste it, because he's mouth-watering there.
Yeah.
Is he?
My favourite part of the show, Catherine.
Now, Tommy.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah, no, that looks
delicious. Thank you. Oh, great stuff.
Now you can have the
You
pastry
dig
made.
in there.
You can have the pastry made in advance, store it in an airtight container, up to 24 hours in the fridge, and then you can put on your topping back into the oven. Okay?
Like a pizza.
So there
It's
we
like
go.
a pizza.
But a bit nicer, I think.
But a nicer, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicer.
A posh pizza.
Nicer.
Posh
Made
pizza.
by Catherine Leyden's
With
own
layers.
hand.
With flaky layers. Delicious,
Catherine,
Catherine.
thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.
That looks delicious. It really
Thank
does.
you.
My pleasure.
Now,
Now.
Claire, what have we got coming up next?
Coming up, the most incredible story. We're going to be meeting Galway composer Amy Doherty, who's become the first woman to score a DreamWorks film. That's coming up after the break.